Hi guys, welcome back. In this new video, I'll be starting a new topic in this series, SSC Mathematics from Zero to Guru. The topic I'll be starting today is called surd. In the first part of this video, I'll be reviewing rational and irrational numbers. Without doubt, you've come across this set of numbers you are seeing on the screen in the previous videos. I explained when I was teaching you sequence and series, as well as when I was explaining sets. So I will review each of these set of numbers, in particular rational and irrational numbers. What do we call a natural numbers? The first one I'm going to explain. Natural numbers. Natural numbers are the set of counting numbers. They are those numbers we were exposed to in our primary school. You know, when your little brothers or little sisters or even your kids, so the first set of number they will be exposed to in their nursery school are what? 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand now? So these are the set of counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to and so on and so forth like that. So these are the set of counting numbers. They are the numbers we are exposed to in our nursery schools. So if that is clear, you can as well represent these numbers in a number line such that when you have something of this nature, this is your number line, and you have something like this, 1, 2, as your starting one is the starting number. So you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, you have 5, and so on and so forth. So this set of number is known as what? Is known as a natural number. It's known as a natural number. That is the set of counting numbers. So the set of counting numbers. So the numbers we are exposed to in our primary school. So if that is cleared, when you now add 0 to this set of numbers, we have what we call what? Whole numbers. So this natural number will graduate to what we call whole numbers when you what? When you include 0 to it. For example, when I say whole numbers are the combination of what? Natural numbers and 0. You understand that? So then you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. You understand that? So then if you want to express this in a number line, then it means the number is going to start from what we call origin, that is 0. So what you are going to have here is what? 0. Then you have 1. You have 1. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So that's whole number. So in general, your natural numbers are denoted as what? As n. So then you can denote your whole number as w like this. So then after whole numbers, another set of numbers we come across is called integers. So we know that natural numbers are set of counting numbers. Then when you include 0 to it, we have what? Whole numbers. Then when you now have a negative numbers, what are the negative numbers? Like -1, -2. When you add it to a whole number, then you have what we call what? An integers. Then what is the definition of an integers? Integers are the set of positive numbers, negative numbers, and and 0. So the set of positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0. For example, when you have from here minus 5. There are a bunch of numbers before negative 5. Minus 4, minus 3, minus 1, 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are a bunch of numbers after 4 as well. So these are called integers. So you can as well express this in number line on number line as well. So why those number that goes on your what? On your right axis like this. So it's known as the positive indicate the positive, while this indicate the negative numbers. You understand now? So in essence, you can indicate your origin here, which is the 0. So then I have my negative 5, my negative 4, so my negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You understand now? So these are integers, and don't forget, integers will be denoted as Z like this. You're calling Z, so that is integers. If that is cleared, we also have what we call rational number. Rational numbers, when we say rational numbers, so they are those numbers that can be expressed in terms of what? P divided by Q. So they could be written as what? A fractional form. So where your Q, so where your what? Your Q is a number not equal to 0. You understand that? You know, if your Q is 0, then you are going to have what we call what? An undefined. So you understand that? So that's rational numbers. So and P and Q are integers. So and P and Q's are integers. Rational number is denoted by Q. It is denoted by Q. This is your colleague Q. So and we have different types of what? Different forms of rational number. So the first type is when you categorize them into fractions. So then we have proper, you know what we call proper fraction, improper fraction, and what? And mixed number. Don't say mixed fraction. There is nothing like mixed fraction. So it is called mixed numbers. When we say proper fraction, let me quickly review that. You know, you say something is a proper fraction if what? If the numerator is less than the denominator. Proper fraction. So e.g. when you have 2 divided by 3. In general, when your numerator is this number here at the top, and this one is what? Is the bottom number, that is the denominator. So and this is the fraction sign. So when you now have your numerator of less than the what? The denominator, then we have what we call proper fraction. Another example is 4 divided by 100, 1 divided by 50, etc. So they are called proper fraction. Like, you know, it is proper that you carry your what? You carry your youngest one. So in essence, when a number smaller is at the numerator, so than those numbers at the denominator, we have what? We have a proper fraction. So another types like I've listed above is what? Improper fraction. Improper fraction are the opposite of what? Proper fraction. So that is the number that are not proper. In essence, when you now have the number greater at the denominator, when you have a number, I mean, that is greater at the numerator. You understand now? If the number at the numerator is greater than that in the denominator, we have a proper fraction. In essence, when we interact these numbers, the example we gave here, for example, when we have 3 over 2 now, 3 over 2 is what? Is an improper fraction, because we check 3 here, 3 is greater than 2. So and we have 3 at the numerator, while 2 as the number at the denominator. So we have improper fraction. When you have 100 over 4, that's also improper fraction. 50 divided by 1, improper. So these are examples of improper fraction. Indeed, they are also a rational number because they could be written as what? As fraction. So another types we have is what? is mixed number. So mixed number, don't say mixed fraction. So it's the combination of what? Of a whole number. Don't forget, what did I call whole numbers? Number that is the set of counting number and zero. So the combination of whole numbers and what? And proper fraction. You understand that? So and that's why we say one whole number 2 divided by 3. You understand that? Don't say mixed number, don't say mixed fraction, you say mixed number. So 2 whole number 3/8. So this is an example of what? Mixed number. You see at the end of the day we can convert this guy to what? To a proper fraction. Then I'm going to have 3 times 1, 3 plus 2. That's 5 divided by 3. You will see that when you convert this number, you can convert it back to what? To improper fraction. And from improper fraction, you can convert it backwards. You can convert a number from improper fraction to a mixed fraction. How do you do that? Just see how many 3 are you going to see in 5? That's 1. Then you put the remainder here. You know the remainder here is 2 and divide by 3. This fraction. So that's that. Then another form you can have it is what? So you can have it in form of integers. You can have your rational number in form of integers. Like I've explained, for example, now when you have -9, -9 is an integer. Indeed, you can rewrite this as what? As a fraction too. -9/1 is the same thing as what? As -9. You understand that? So that's that. Another form you can have it is in form of what? Terminating decimal. You can have it in form of decimal, but that decimal is what we call what? Terminating decimals. What are terminating decimals? So for example, when you have 7 divided by 10, 7 divided by 10 is a fraction. Indeed, it's a rational number. So you will see that this will give you, a decimal. How do we have a decimal? If you want to convert this to decimal, just say 10 is 7, that is 0. Since you don't have a number that can go in it, just put decimal here and add 0 here. Then 10 is 70, that is 7. You can see it terminates. So it has an end here. So when you have this kind of decimal, we call it what? A terminating decimal. So this is an example of what? Of a rational number too. So then we also have a recurring decimal. A recurring decimal is an example of terminating decimal, but it doesn't what? It doesn't terminate. Instead of it to terminate, it reoccurs. It reoccurs. So take for example, when I have, let me give you an example, 1 divided by 9. An example of that is 1 divided by 9. You will see that when I say how many 9 are we going to see in 1? If we are to convert this to a decimal, so 9 in 1 will give me 0 point. Since 9 cannot go in 1 again, but you now put what? You add 0 at the back of 1 to make it 10. Then you now say how many 9 you going to see in 10? That's 1, remainder 1. You still add 0 to that 1. So then you still have 9 in 10 again. That's 1, remainder 1. So you still add 0 to that 1 again to make it 10. That's 1, remainder 1. So you see that you'll be having what? 0.111111. So then we call this a recurring decimal. Indeed, you can rewrite it as what? 0.11 and put point dot here. So this means that what? 1 reoccurs. So this means that 1 reoccurs. So it doesn't matter that you have, a number to be reoccurring. Indeed, you can have 2 numbers to be reoccurring. So for example, if I have 0.23 now and I put this dot on 23, it means the 23 is what? Is reoccurring. So in essence, this numbers is what? 0.23, 23, 23, 23. So this is called a recurring decimal. When you have a recurring decimal too, so we call it what? We call it a rational number, because you can actually write them in terms of what? In terms of P divided by Q. Another example of a rational number is what? Is when you have your number in terms of radical, root. When we say radical, this is known as a radical. Root is a radical. So when you have square root of 16, for example, square root of 16 will give me what? 4. So, and 4 can also be written as what? As a fraction, which is something as 4 divided by 1. So this is an example of what? Of a rational number as well. Don't forget, like I've said, you can have proper, improper, or mixed numbers. You can have integers. You can have a terminating decimal, recurring decimal, as well as root. And this set of number, they are all what? Example of irrational number. So which, I mean, is written as what? In terms of Q, which is denoted as Q. So, and another number which is an opposite of rational number is what? Irrational number. Don't forget I said rational numbers are those numbers that you can express as what? As P divided by Q, where P and Q are what? Are integers, but Q is not a number, is a number not equal to zero. You understand that? So, but irrational number on the other hand are those numbers that cannot be expressed. So they cannot be expressed as P divided by Q. So they cannot be expressed as P divided by Q. So that is, you cannot express them as what? As a fractional form. So that is when you want to express them as a fractional number or as a decimal, so it neither repeat nor nor as an end. So it's neither repeat itself or as an end. So for example, an example of such number is pi. And by the way, irrational number is denoted by I. You know when you have pi is what? It is standard in mathematics. You know it is 22 divided by 7, right? But if you say 22 divided by 7, if you divide it, you can see that you cannot express it as a decimal that terminates. Don't forget, when you now press your calculator for 22 over 7, you are going to have 3.1421592 like that. In fact, if you use a bigger calculator, you will see you are going to have many number at the end of what? At the back of two like this. So you understand that it doesn't have what? It doesn't have an end. You understand that? So most number do not have exact roots, so they are also irrational number. You know, for example, now if I the example I gave before, you have square root of 16. You know, square root of 16 is what? Is 4, because 16 is a perfect square. All those numbers that are not perfect square, for example, when you have root 2, root 3, so when you have them in terms of radical and what you have here is not a perfect square, then they are called irrational number. They are called irrational number. So, and these irrational number are otherwise known as what? So they are otherwise known as subs. So they are otherwise known as subs. So that is number that do not have what? An exact root. So number that do not have an exact root. So another system of number I want to give before I conclude this lesson is real numbers. So real numbers are those numbers that take into account natural number, your own number, rational number, irrational number. Sorry, before this we have my integers. You understand now? So because if I want to relate it as a types of set, then we can call this what? Real number is superset, and your real number is denoted as R. So real number is denoted as R. So if that is cleared, we still have another set of number, which is what? The highest set of number we have in mathematics, which is known as complex number. I have a series on complex number which I call complex number from zero to guru. You might want to refer to that lessons. So complex number is noted by C. So it's a number expressed in terms of A plus BI. So where your A is what? Is a real number and B is what? Imaginary number or complex number. You understand that? So, and you obtain this imaginary number from what? From the square root of a negative number. You know, we know that a square root of a number is such a number you are going to multiply by itself 2 times to give you the number inside the radical. For example, when I have square root of 4, square root of 4 is 2 or minus 2, because when I multiply 2 by itself, I'm going to have 4, and when I multiply minus 2 by itself, I'm going to have 4 as well. So, but when you have square root of minus 4, for example, you can't have such a number. You understand now? So you can't have such a number. So then this will give you what? This will give you what we know as square root of 4 multiplied by square root of minus 1. And this square root of minus 1, like I've explained in that complex number, is what we know as what? I. That is something we imagine. Imaginary number. You understand now? So it means square root of minus 4 will give you 2i. So it means it's going to give you 2i. So it means if I want to rewrite this in terms of sets, so then I can say that my natural number is a subset of what? Is a subset of whole number, and whole number is a subset of what? Is a subset of an integer, so which is a subset of what? Rational number. You understand now? And rational number, you can say it's a subset of real number, and real number is a subset of what? Complex number. And indeed, we can express it in terms of a Venn diagram like this. So if you check this guy here, so you will see that this is my natural number. So this is my natural number. You understand now? And you have another set. So it means whole number is what? It's a superset. So natural number is a subset of whole number. Whole number, which is a subset of integers. Integer is a subset of rational number. So, and you know, in that, irrational number is different set entirely. So both rational number and irrational number are subset of real numbers. And real number is what? It's a subset of a complex number. Indeed, we can call a complex number, I mean, a universal set. So these are the set of numbers we have. Don't forget, the reason why I explained that is what? Is because of the irrational number, so which give us sort. What did I call an irrational number? That is a number that do not have what? Exact root. So this is where I'm going to stop for today. So in the next video, I'm going to start with the rules of sort. We know that sort is what? They are irrational number. So that is when you have a non-perfect square inside your radical, so that gives rise to what we know as what? Irrational number. So I see you in the next video. Thank you.